Hello, internet fans, and welcome to 3B Video. I'm your host, Rotten Roger DeMarco, and today we're going to be talking about the Thomas Hodge book, VHS cover art. You know, I'm pretty new to collecting VHS tapes. Sadly, all the tapes from my youth are long gone, but building a video store meant that I got to rewind the clock and revisit some of these tapes from my youth. Back to a much simpler time, where cover art and the synopsis on the back hooked you into renting a movie and pretty much defined your weekend. And this book is basically a trip back in time to the old mom and pop video stores. It highlights some truly odd films that are just begging to be seen, like Cocaine Wars. I mean, how could you not want to see this movie? Explosions, muscles, and big-ass guns. Sign me up. Or something like The Enforcer Part 2. I'd never even heard of The Enforcer Part 1, but look at this cover art. Just blatantly ripping off the cover art from Cobra, hoping to trick you into renting it instead of the Sylvester Stallone movie. Or what about Rolling Vengeance? A monster truck with a giant drill on the front of it? I don't even need a synopsis. Just give me this movie. So many of these films I've never even heard of, but I found myself flipping through these pages and writing down titles like, I need to see some of these movies. How have these movies slipped past me? And I'm sure that some of the movies slipped past you as well. Like TNT Jackson, written by Dick Miller? Wait, yes, that Dick Miller. A blaxploitation film written by Dick Miller? Why? Why do I not own this? Or Grimloids. Just look at this cover art. It looks oddly familiar. Can you figure out what movie they're ripping off? That's right, Star Wars. This cover art was meant to trick your grandma or your aunt into renting this instead of Star Wars. I could just imagine a kid's face when their grandparents or their aunt or their uncle brought this movie home and was like, I got that thing you were looking for. Not this, Grandpa. Not this, Grandpa. And the crazy thing about some of these films is they were released under alternate titles. So you might get something like What a Way to Go and try to look that up and try to find that and realize that it had some sort of alternate title. So you can't find it anywhere. And that's the crazy thing about these old school video store flicks, because some of them were available on VHS but never made it to any other format. So they're just lost to time. And that's a pretty sad thing, because who doesn't want to see a movie about a bunch of horny housewives who kidnap a geeky paperboy so that he can have sex with their heavyset friend because she doesn't get any play? Probably couldn't get made today, but I kind of want to see that. The 80s, man. What a time to be alive, right? But this one really caught my eye. Grave Misdemeanors. It's about a college kid who is pursued relentlessly by bullies, and then his bullies die in a tragic accident, so the kid thinks, all right, home free, no more bullies. Wrong. The bullies are resurrected, so now they are zombie bullies. I don't know if that sounds intriguing to you, but I have to find this movie. And last but not least is The Go Kids. Another movie that is a blatant ripoff of another giant blockbuster film. Look at this font. Look at this cover art. And tell me that they are not trying to capitalize on people who are attempting to rent The Goonies. That's hilarious, and I love it. Video store culture was the best, and now, sadly, it's all gone. And so now people just scroll through their streaming services, and there's a total disconnect with the film itself, because you're never truly invested in the film you're watching, because you can just hit return and pick something else if it's not grabbing you. But back in the day, if you were to pick a movie and spend your hard-earned cash on it, that was your weekend plans, for better or worse. There's so many movies in this book that just piqued my interest, and now I'm on a mission to find them all. If you haven't picked up this book, do yourself a favor and grab it. It's an interesting conversation starter, it's a great coffee table book, and it takes you back to a time when cover art was really something. A lot of time and effort put into the cover art. Nowadays, everything is just a cheap Photoshop splash and it's done. There's something truly amazing about the cover art of films from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, before the video store officially died. So if you're a fan of the video store culture and you haven't heard of this book or seen this book, do yourself a favor, run out and pick this book up, because it is amazing. I suppose I should probably get going, because after all, there's a lot of movies out there. Somebody's got to watch them, so why not me, right?